Welcome back to another episode of my Megabuild project. As you can see, we left off here with a little bit of progress on the actual mega base, and I finished one little section of this desert village, and I have a little bit of a start on the cyberpunk part. Now, for starters, I think I want to clean this up. I have a better vision of what I want to do with this, as these glass bits kind of don't really add anything in my opinion. I just finished deleting all the glass as you saw, and even one billboard. So now the cyberpunk area does look a lot cleaner, but it also looks pretty empty. A big part of Minecraft building is just going over and revising what you've already done to make little corrections. Because if I left it like that, I feel like I would have gotten sick of it and it just would be annoying, and I wouldn't want to come back to ever finish this area if I didn't like how it was coming along. So that's why I took the time to delete it, and now I'm just going to revise it. My next step though is to now start decorating this a little more and making it look a bit easier to look at. I'm going to design everything from a perspective of street view, more of a flyover. It'll be more decorated towards the bottom and kind of get a little less toward the top. I mean, I'm still going to decorate a little bit. It'll still be solid to look at, but it's more intended to be seen from a street view as opposed to all the way up there. I mean, because no actual person can fly like this. I mean, you can look through windows, but you're not looking through the windows. No one lives there. I actually want to give a little bit of a voiceover here during this sort of time lapse of things because it's really just a big break. What I'm going for here is a copper, orange, red billboard on this other building. As I did previously with the glass, I kind of blended this left side being more red and the right side being blue. It really takes a lot of trial and error with these just designs to get something that I think looks decent. As you can see, I'm just back and forth on what I want to do with it. You can see how little failed efforts of all the things I tried to do. And here I'm building I'm trying to joint two billboards, but I don't really joint them here for whatever reason, and one of them, actually the blue one, gets deleted just a little later on in this time lapse, I believe, because here I am interioring everything, and that's just all that happens. I'm just interioring. I do a lot of glass. I think it kind of looks like a sliding door, and I'm doing black on the backside so you cannot see through the windows. Black concrete is incredibly black in Minecraft. As you can see here, just nothing gets past that. It's a big glass wall. This one's just all glass. I'm building a couch sofa thing. It's kind of just an outdoor couch sofa patio. I don't live anywhere near a city, so I don't really have a whole lot of inspiration for this, but I keep going back to the cyberpunk city, images of that, just to get a basis of what I'm going for at the buildings. It doesn't really work. What I'm seeing there doesn't really translate whatsoever, but I'm just looking at it. It's just giving me an idea. That black glass kind of goes for a computer sort of, so it's a little desk computer. I was just looking for things to take up the space. I'm outlining another one here because I think they look quite nice. I'm pretty sure I gloss over this afterward. For one of the walls here, I'm going, well, it's just basalt, some kind of basalt, and of course I think that's spruce. Another glass sliding door, because I think that's the best way to make a large scale glass door. I think that's the best way to do it. Also, slabs for a roof. I don't really think this one turned out super nice. I was just mixing a bunch of colors and stuff, but it's a little something to look at from the big outside. And if anyone has any idea how those other YouTubers do their their little playbacks, the time lapse is what I'm doing, but they have it in a video where you can see them building and they're zoomed out and they watch themselves, so it's not just my screen being sped up 20 times. You don't really know what's happening because it's all happening so fast. Because I'm just looking for items right there, nothing interesting's happening. I tried some Skulk, because I think Skulk looks really cool. I think it could be a night sky thing. It kind of looks like stars. I tried this glazed terracotta. I think I'll just cut this out of the video because I tried it and then it just looks, I didn't like it. I tried this and I think it's a cool block. The cherry, and you mix it back and forth. I think it has a good appeal to it. At this point in time, I don't really like the way all the colors lined up in this room. I was hoping the cherry would have less of that like pink tinge. I made this door look a little bit closed, I think I tried to do. It's got like one trap door. It kind of gives off the illusion, but not exactly. I have like a cocoa bean farm. I was just putting up stuff to take up the space. I might add a painting or something. I can't really remember what I do. And yeah, it's a big old like flat screen TV. So I've gotten a little bit more work done here with kind of this like balcony. I think I only had this one to begin with, but I looked over to the side and thought it would look good, kind of like stacked up. I don't know if I want to do one more down here. I'm strongly considering it, however. I'd have to delete another billboard. I've already deleted a good handful, but that's all part of the process. You know, I've kind of messed it all up around here, but I think it's coming together. It still doesn't look like a whole lot down here yet, but I'm working on that. I'm getting it to it from like kind of like a larger scale first, you know. You see this more than you'd see what's down there first things first. But I think after this I'm gonna start working on the bigger purple build, because I'm like burning out a little bit on this.
Talk to you, girl. I seen you dancing right here with your crew. It was your smile that brought me here to you. Or maybe it's the way you hit your moves. Tell me, do you have a boo? And if not, then I wanna dance with you. You're so gorgeous that it's hard to keep my cool, but I'll keep it just to have a dance with you. Darling, tell me, can I talk to you? I seen you dancing from across the room, and told myself I gotta know you. I gotta know you. I gotta know you. I gotta know you. Hey, can I walk you to your car and maybe we can get some food? But you won't break my heart if you decline, it's cool. But I honestly wanna end my night with you. Hey, let me know what's the deal or something. I'm trying to chill or something. I wanna know who you are, you so fly to me, I swear it. And you got style, yo, I love the way that dress fit, yeah. Deep convos on a late night. If you smoke, you can take flight. If you don't, then it's alright. But if I have your permission, you can be the braille to my blind eyes, alright? Can I talk to you? I seen you dancing from across the room, and told myself I gotta know. I gotta know you. I gotta know you. I gotta know you. Love it when you dance with me. Shake, senora. Shake, senora. Shake, shake, senora. Baby, won't you dance with me? Shake, senora. Shake, senora. Shake, shake, senora. Baby, won't you dance with me? Shake, senora. Shake, senora. Shake, shake, senora. Baby, won't you dance with me? Shake, senora. Shake, senora. Shake, shake, senora. Baby, won't you dance with me? Shake, senora. Shake, senora. Shake, shake, senora. Baby, won't you dance with me? Shake, senora. Shake, senora, shake, senora. Baby, won't you dance with me? Shake, senora, shake, senora. Baby, won't you dance with me? Can I talk to you? I seen you dancing from across the room. And told myself.
So I've gotten a little bit more done here, of course, with this terraforming, but I'm also a big fan of how this window turned out. I think it looks quite nice from a good step back, and even pretty nice when you look at it from up here. It's very stylistic. I've left most of this other part blank because I don't know how much I'll actually need to fill in come time I build like this roof and whatever. If anything goes out here or back here, you know, if I have anything out here, this might become unnecessary. So I gotta build out a little more of the framework. I do most of this without planning, to be honest. I kind of just spitball it when I do it in my head. I'm not sure on this. It kind of makes this look not super symmetrical. At least I'm not sure about this stone brick wall here. Let me quick delete it and give it a look. I think that makes the window look a little better because now it's like, I don't know, two blocks of purple on each side. I think that's a little bit better. I don't yet quite know. I wanted to put the stone bricks to give these little pillars a little more like, you know, stuff to them, sauce, but not quite sure about how I feel on it right there. Maybe I'll move it, maybe I'll just delete it, see where it goes. But next, I think I'm gonna get done a little bit more terraforming right over here. Maybe kind of start the waterfall. I think I'm gonna have this back off and go around a touch. I want kind of like a garden. And see, I've never built like a dome in Minecraft, so I don't really know how to do a circle shape or a roof, but I think it'd be really cool if there was like a kind of like a big greenhouse type of section. It would take a long time for me, but I think it would look nice because I have a little garden out front with the waterfall, a bunch of plants and such. I'm just giving myself a little framework to remember that I have to curve it out and around, but I think that's the gist of where this is going. I'll decorate this front bit a little more, some more trees like we have over here, probably some little plants too, just to spice up the area. But so far I like where this is all going, and I'm still a fan of this, but I have to do it in pieces because it's not always coming to me what I want to do with it, you know, because it still looks a little bit plain. I might wrap this around, but I don't know if it would look like, you know, like kind of like unstable, like there's just big chunks of the building missing. I feel like that's kind of how it would start to look, but it'll come along, I'm certain of it. But let's get started on the terraforming. So we actually have another quite long time lapse here, so I thought I'd give you just a little bit of a voiceover. Here I'm going through and kind of outlining a shape that I want the rest of the cliff form. At least like this part, I want the shape I want that to have. You build up, you build the shape, you go up a little bit. The strategy I'm going for is you go up a little bit and then you like alternate it for the blocks, and then you move back one and you replace all of them in the back, like you can see I'm doing here quite fast. And you kind of just repeat the process going upwards. It's not crazy difficult. It's not super easy to understand in such a high speed, but that's what I'm doing right now, and I'm just getting it to go up and then match the height of the other part. And I put a little bit of water down there just to show where I kind of, like I'm planning out where I want the waterfall to go. You can see just like 3 blocks of water down there. I've gotten to the top layer on the cliff face, but now I go back and try to start editing in some some mossy cobblestone, because I think just the stone everywhere isn't like the best look. It kind of looks a little bit plain. So I started by editing a little bit of mossy cobblestone by the moss to give just like a greener look to it. I go all the way around the building like that. I just replace the blocks that I've already placed, and then here I kind of try and pick like a palette that I want to go for as like a descending color gradient type of thing, and I want to do like a white diorite kind of thing later in the future. I think it's like a cool style of rock formations. If you watch Hermitcraft, you know B-Dubs does a lot of that with his like terraforming. I think that's a really nice style. I kind of want to copy it. Not direct copy, but I want to try it at least at some point. Under the cobble, that's under the mossy cobble, I go for a little bit of an andesite. It's got a little bit more texture than stone, so it builds a nice little blend in through the cobblestone, kind of the best possible. And then under the andesite, I actually opt for a light gray wool later on. I tried some other different interesting looking blocks, but none of them really blended nice straight to stone. I kind of go through and pick them out here, but I eventually settle on light gray wool. After I finally decide that it's the wool that I want, I just start going and editing that through all of the rest, similar to what I did with the andesite, cobblestone, mossy cobble. You know, you get the point. Just replace a few blocks under it. I kind of do this as a little like lighter, not so heavy on it, and I picked the light gray wool because it kind of blends the andesite into the stone, like color-wise nice. It's got kind of the same tinge as andesite. And now I just go back over the top with some moss. After I've repeated the process with more mossy cobblestone, that little gradient going down on the rest of the new part, I start filling it in with moss to kind of get ready for the waterfall sort of thing I'm going to have going through here. I just set it up with moss, and I'll start setting up like a little river with a pond, kind of, just that kind of cuts through it a little bit but still leaves some space for some nice plants going on out there. You'll see it very shortly. I also added in some dark green wool to the moss to give it a little bit more variation. I do this throughout the rest of the terraforming. I think it just more variation, really. You're not looking at the same block over and over, you know what I'm saying? Here when starting the waterfall, I kind of go for like a little bit of stained glass to kind of look like rushing water. You know, the white, kind of like a white cap at the bottom. It's all like splashing and crashing everywhere. And I slowly fade that through like light blue glass to regular blue glass. Just a little bit of splashing around the top, give it a little bit more texture, and from quite a ways I think it looks nice. As you can see here, I did finish this waterfall of sorts. I've got more terrain coming here. I think I might have a little bit bigger of like a little pool area, because right now it looks a little weird how the water comes down and then just stops. A little strange. But next, I think I'm gonna touch up the roof here, probably fill in a little bit more of this, and maybe even get started on this like greenhouse thing that I want to do. But I think I might put a little bit more like castle kind of stuff right here. It'll take a little bit more progress before I get there, but I want to get there. I even did a little bit of touching up around like this area by filling in behind the glass some black concrete so you can't see through it. I still have to get to a little bit more work on this, but I'm just not really feeling it right now. I think I'll get to it later though, but I'm really having a good time. just building and working on this castle, so that's what I'm gonna keep doing. This is another little time lapse here, and I don't really have so much to say this time, except for the fact that I actually paused it to launch up my auto clicker to start filling in this wall, and then I actually forgot to restart it. So there's a little bit of work done that you can't see, but I'll show you it afterward. During that time lapse, you can see I got a little bit sidetracked with adding to the city over here, and building this roof and wall and window. I don't know if I said I was going to do the wall and window or roof or whatever, but I did do it. It's finished. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this window. I think I like the way it looks, but when I come out here and look at it like this, it feels like a little bit too much window. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I'm going to shrink it or remove it, but I feel like changes will probably come to this thing. Over here, I'll give you a little bit of a tour of what I did. This camel's wandering around. I tried to put a camel in there, it didn't really stay. I have a little bit of a shop front. I have some composters partially filled to make it look like there's stuff in, like, I don't know, outdoor shop things. You know what I'm saying? Really kind of like a little more glass sliding thing, corner store. You know, plants, potted plants. Then I just have basically this little just front. There's nothing too special to it, but it's just a little bit more to look at when you come through here. And honestly, I think that's gonna be all for this little episode part. It's not a whole lot that I got done, but I leave for a vacation for about a week and maybe a day or two. By the time you see this, I might be on the vacation. I might upload it partially through that, so I won't be able to work on this, just give you a little something to watch in the meantime. When I come back, I do intend to keep working on it because it's of course not done, but I think I got a good little bit done through this waterfall, a lot more terrain, edited the terrain, got this thing going, add a little bit more to this, not a whole lot. I didn't complete another section. I don't really know. I don't have a plan still. I just want to build this and put a little more work in on this and maybe build another section. I'm not quite sure on it, but it's coming along. So that's probably all for this time, and thanks for watching. See you in the next one.